Okay, so now with the renovations pretty much behind me now for another season, I've got a few little bits and pieces still to do, but on a whole, the renovations are done. It's now time to start sort of planning, or it's time for me, I should say, to start planning towards the future a little bit. Now, I've been talking about this a little bit lately, and today it's time to set this up as an in-ground system. So, we've got a valve box here, and we've got our mains flow system for the easy flow. So basically we've got, obviously there'll be the poly pipe that goes in here, or the metric 1 inch. Here we've got a backflow prevention valve, and here we've got the apparatus, and this obviously outlet. So what we're going to do, it's worth noting that I have actually got a larger capacity horizontal unit, so it's one that sits this way, coming. It's on order. Stock is very low right now, which will stay in here permanently, and then I've got the benefit of moving this one around the yard. So for me, having a larger block sort of pays to have two, because I'm trying to buy back some time. Having such a large area and trying to keep it maintained to such a high degree is very time consuming. So what we're going to do, I'm going to find my main line. I know it runs somewhere through here. I'm going to lift up this valve box here because it is a little bit low in the back corner there, and we'll add another valve box somewhere here. So I'm going to have to dig back quite a way, because what I need to do is undo the pipe at a connection, and then get enough back here that I've actually got ability to cut the right length and join up again, because sort of changing pipes in a trench that has already been laid can be a bit of a pain in the bum. So just going to sort of dig back quite a way to give myself some leverage, hopefully install a new box in here, and yeah, we'll be able to top this up with the plant doctor stuff, and this will then feed all of my putting green and all of my new lawn every time it gets irrigated. So I can have my amendments, I can have it on slow, so every time I'm adding a tiny amount of soil wetter, I'm adding a tiny amount of seaweed, all that sort of stuff. So we're really going to push the green this year, really get it back to where it should be, and also give the new lawn a fantastic head start. So let's crack on. Okay, so I don't know if you can actually see this right now, but here's my main line. So it comes in, it must come along here somewhere, and then it comes in here and it branches off. I've got a valve there and another valve there. So I'm going to just follow this back here carefully now. Hopefully it'll only be a little bit further out, and then we'll start going backwards till we get enough point to sink a new box and enough leverage to lift the pipe and manipulate it to add the connector. So I've found the join just here, so we'll just go back a little bit further, and hopefully that's where we'll need to go. Okay, so this is it here. It's actually a little bit shallower than I remember it, but it's okay. Normally I use things about a spade depth down, but this one, for some reason, I must have been feeling a bit lazy on the day. So I won't lie, this is a little bit of a fiddly process to retrofit, if you will, one of these systems into an existing line, but it can be done. What we're going to do now is, it's really important that we do a leak test now. So I'll go and turn the water back on. We'll just check here for any any leaks. So the last thing I want to do is be digging this thing up again, because that would just be a pain in the bum. So I'll turn the water on, we'll check for leaks. I hope that there's none, because I really need to get this backfilled because we're heading into a lot of rain, and I just want to get it done before then. So let's do it. So we ended up having a small leak here, and that's where the plastic meets the brass here. I just actually gave it a little bit more of a tighten, because you would have saw there I hand tightened it. So I gave a little bit of a tighten with a pair of pliers, and so far so good. So as I said, I had to pull the system out again. That's why there's a bit of water in there. So I'm just going to leave it open for a little while now, just to check everything's 100% right. There's no leaks now. So yeah, just going to let that water take away, work on the valve box on the other side there, then we'll start backfilling it all in. The beauty about doing this sort of work after a renovation is you can hide a multitude of sins. Now, none of that turf really went back in the way it was meant to go in, and I knew that before I started, and that was one of the reasons I actually waited until I had actually done a renovation so I could do it this way. Now, I've rubbed over with some top dressing sand. We've got, I think, nearly up to a week of rain coming, so I'm going to let the rain do its thing, let it wash it all down. Once that's happened, I might put a little bit more top dress down in it, but we'll come back after the rain event, and then we'll go into the Ezflo. Well, I'll tell you what, you probably don't believe me when I say it's only been a few days since I filmed that first part of this video, but it is, and we've had our 35 millimeters of rain, and some of it was rather heavy, but it is what it is, out of our control. Now, next week's video is clearly going to be a first mow. The recovery's been fantastic. It is really ready for a mow now, but I sort of haven't got time, so we'll make that next week's video. It'll be a first mow, front, green, etc. We'll also a lot of questions about the Zoysia and the Tiff Eagle. We'll cover those very shortly as well. Now, I'm surprised that no one actually noticed this, but in the renovations, or if they did, they didn't say anything. In the renovations, I didn't actually apply any soil wetting agent. Now, main reason behind that was I always planned to start spoon feeding my Nature Soil Wetter through the Ezflo. So I'm going to run the Nature Soil Wetter, the Quantum H, the Seaweed Secrets, and a Stimulizer all mixed up in here, on this here, and it will also flow through to the new lawn, which is actually going to get installed. I'm going to install that on the 27th of this month. So video on that will be coming up probably early December. Anyway, back to this. So that's the plan. We're going to top this up here. So basically every single time now that the irrigation comes on, I'm applying a tiny bit of everything. It's just going to buy myself back a bit of time. One of the things about working shift work and also having a large block with high maintenance grass is time. And for me, if I can install things to make my life a little bit easier, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm hoping that this little setup here will just give me a little bit more time. I'd like to spend some more time doing videos with you guys and all that sort of stuff. So if I can bring you little time-saving ideas, that's my mission. That's what I'm going to do. So let's put this all together. Let's chuck it in this system here, and we'll put him in the ground, and we'll just check it, make sure it all works. We don't need to apply any real irrigation today because of the rain, but we'll run through it all with you guys. And obviously, if you're after any of this Plant Doctor stuff, I'll put a coupon at the bottom of the screen, which will give you 10% off. And I think it's, depending on where you are, but on average, I think it's anything over $100 is free delivery as well. So a really good deal. I'll put the links below. Jump on there, grab yourself some gear. It is really good stuff. Let's now quickly just run through exactly what I'm putting in there, so you guys get a bit of an idea of what's going there and why it's going in. So obviously, as I mentioned before, the soil wetter, the Nature Soil Wetter, is a non-petrochemical soil wetting agent. It's non-toxic, and it does reduce the surface tension and improves hard to wet soils. Now obviously, it's also going to be great for dry patch. So in the middle of summertime, when things are really hot and we're getting patches of the lawn that are drying out, this is going to help combat that to a degree. Now, regular regular use, and that's why I'm going to put it through this drip feeding it all the time. I'm just putting little bits in all the time. Regular use, it's going to allow the water to go into the soil more efficiently. It's also going to allow a bit more access to the fertilizers and the nutrients that are in the soil. Now, with the Stimulizer, it also works around the root zone as well, so it can actually help control root rot diseases and Pythium. So another root rot disease to think about is obviously our spring dead spot. So if this is going to help alleviate some of that, then I'm all for it. So let's just try it as well. It's going to obviously encourage the roots to grow nice and strong and healthy, so that's a good thing. And it's again also going to help soil moisture retention. So as you can see, there's a theme here. We're really focusing on feeding the soil, helping moisture stay in there as best as we can, helping the nutrients to become available as best we can to the plant, etc. So that's a really good thing, and also it does boost immunity to the turf as well. So all good things going on there. With the Quantum H, again, it's going to increase the root growth, the root healthy development, etc. It's going to also help to increase the plant immunity, so help it fight off any diseases or pest attack. It's going to obviously not stop that, but it's going to help it deal with it. It's going to help also detoxify various pollutants in the soil. It's going to buffer the pH, so it's going to help balance out the extremities of that, so that's another good thing for me. It's also going to build and repair soil structure, so it's going to really give us a nice healthy soil. Now obviously the Seaweed Secrets is a seaweed, a kelp extract. A lot of talk around this stuff these days, and it's a really good thing to have going onto your lawn. So it's obviously a stress protector, so it's going to help things like the heat and the cool. New turf going down, it's going to help it settle in. It's going to alleviate some of the stress of shock of moving, renovation, recovery, all those things. It's going to really do good things for that. Once again, it's going to go back to our root system. It's going to stimulate and help develop the healthy, strong root system, and just overall health of your turf. So really, like, that's what we're after here: nice, healthy lawn, and obviously going through that easy flow. We're just making life a lot easier for ourselves as well. So once you've got him filled up, and I mean you've got to fill him right up to the brim, you don't want any air in the system at all. And there is actually a way you can sort of, I guess, remove any excess air, and we'll just do that there now. So we grab our black tube, which is our inlet tube, so it's got in here, and we just push him in, like so. And what we can actually do is open this little valve here, and just a tiny bit. Right, so it's full as full can be. So now we'll just put our outlet tube in like so, and we open up this one and this one. Now we are ready to go. Right, so we've got the system on slow, which is the one you want it just for spoon feeding, and you can see in the clear tube right here the product's going through, so it's working its way onto the sprinklers and out onto the yard. So all we do now, we just pop this here in the ground. Alright guys, look, we'll wrap the video up here for today. I hope you've enjoyed a look at the Ezflo and obviously the Plant Doctor stuff that goes through it. We'll keep a close eye on how that stuff goes throughout the season, but look, as I said before, check them out, have a look. I've been using the Plant Doctor stuff for a while now, and I'm very happy with it. So anyway guys, look, have a great weekend. We'll catch you here next time on the Aussie Lawn.